2008. The year is 2008. I'm going to take you on a little journey. 2008, I took a trip to India. My brother was getting married. A couple of my cousins were getting married as well. So here I was, going to school, almost done. We had a family business. I was just helping out with my family business. That was it. Go to India, take a trip. I meet all my family. They were amazing. I didn't know I had this many cousins on my mom's side, on my dad's side. Here in America, I only have a short amount of cousins, very few. But India, when I stepped off the plane, when I went to my hometown, my parents' hometown, I looked around and there were a lot of people and they were very welcoming. It's amazing how people welcome you when you're from a different country. You can go to India, you can go to Mexico, you can go anywhere in the world, but everywhere you go, if you're an outsider, people will welcome you. And it was a great feeling to be welcomed. Not only to be welcome, but also feel like a millionaire. Because it's a third world country, the money goes a long way. A little $1,000 American money will go a long way over there. So here I was, stepped down, went to India, and I'm in my hometown. After the wedding happened, after all this stuff, all the party scene, it was great. But I was driving with my cousin one day on his bike. Me and my cousin were going on a bike. And we stepped down to eat something to the local street vendor. So we take a little trip, we walk around, and here I was, for some reason, over there, people can recognize you're from outside, automatically. It's just a given. No matter how you look, no matter what kind of clothes you wear, people will recognize you. And I'm standing there next to my cousin. This woman comes by. I'd say in the late 30s, maybe early 40s. She had a younger girl with her, maybe 14, 15 years of age. I think she had a medical condition because she had a big lump on her throat right here. I didn't know what it was. But this lady comes up to me while I was just talking to my cousin. The lady goes, "Please, sir, please help me out a little bit." Obviously, she was speaking in my language. And I look at her, and I just stared at her for a second. I ignored her because they tell you, my parents told me, my cousins, everybody over there tells me, do not give money to anybody over there because they're going to just say it all for the heck of it because this is what their business is. They ask for money because they know you're from outside. As I ignored her, she stood there. "Please, sir, please, can I have a little bit of money? My daughter is sick." And I looked at her and said, to my cousin and said, "Hey, I'm about to give her some money." He said, "No, sit down, let's go." And she, as I was sitting on the bike, she comes to me again. "Please, sir, please, can I have a little bit of money?" And I purposely spoke to my cousin in English now, so she wouldn't understand. I said, "I'm about to give her some money. I have a little bit extra money. Hey, it's only going to be $100, which is equivalent to about $2 here." I said, "She'll be happy." He said, "What?" He goes, No, don't do it." But as I was sitting there, the woman would not let me go. And I looked at her daughter, this young girl with the lump on her neck, and I just felt so bad. And she just said, "Sir, please, I really need the money. Please, sir, I really need the money. I need to give food for my daughter. I really need to give food." And I took money out of my wallet, and I had 100, it's rupees in India, which is equivalent to about $2, like I said. Take out 100, and I decided to give it to her. 100 over there is a whole lot of money. That's like giving a $100 bill to somebody here who's homeless on the streets. So as I go, and I was sitting, my cousin's sitting in the front of the bike, and I'm sitting behind them, and I'm giving the money to her, and I go about 30% of the way. Here's the money. As soon as she sees the $100 rupees, the 100 on there, she grabs it, and she tells her daughter, "Let's get out of here." She puts her pocket. She walked so fast, and I just stood there, and I'm thinking to my head at that moment, wow, did that really just happen? And then my cousin said, "Okay," she left. I was like, "Well, I gave her money," because he didn't know because he was facing the other way. He goes, "Oh, okay, how much you give her?" I was like, 100. He goes, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "Are you seriously crazy? 100 rupees. You're going to give somebody on the street 100 rupees. He goes, "I can't believe you just did that." And for a second, I felt betrayed. I did, because I was giving her, I was only 30% of the way, but the way she snatched it out of my hand and just walked right away, and I look at her walking away in the distance about 20, 30 feet, and she's looking back at me like this, looking back at me, and then she goes to another car that's standing on the street, and she starts going to him. At that moment, I felt betrayed. I did. But it's okay. It was just $2 American money. It's not that big a deal. I left. I heard it from everybody. My cousins made fun of it, made fun of me, told the rest of the family, hey, he gave 100 rupees to somebody. He gave 100 rupees to somebody. And they're all looking at me like, why'd you do that? But I dropped it. I come back to America. So fast forward about a month or so, I come back. I realized something. After I came back, I joined Toastmasters. After joining Toastmasters, I'd say about 3 weeks later, I got called for a job. And this, at that point, was the best job I ever had. I got hired for that job. But simultaneously, in my head, I was kept on thinking about that time I gave money to somebody. You see, I heard this somewhere. When you give something to somebody, at the same time, the universe is giving something back to you. It may not be right now, but it might be down the line. When I got that job, when I came back, I knew I got that job not because I gave money to this woman, because I felt really sympathetic towards her. Because her daughter was next to her, who knows how much food she's going to eat tonight. Maybe she will eat a lot with that 100. Maybe she's not. Maybe she has 5 other kids she has to support. But a woman who's down in the streets with her child and asking for money, that should, as a human being, that's not right. That, as a human being, you should feel sympathy towards anybody like that. So today, I challenge everybody out there to go out there, give something from the heart. Whether somebody manipulates you or not, you should always remember that whatever you give, simultaneously you're receiving it back.